Good evening, and thank you for watching the 802 Scoop week update. In the room, we have Raylene. Good evening, Raylene.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Good.
Oh,
Well, sounds like they have some troubles
yeah.
somewhere.
Sounds like there's some problem somewhere.
We've seen it, seen and heard a few of them
Yeah,
so far.
a few. So
Yeah.
something must be going on in the city. If you know what's going on, feel free to post so that
Yeah,
we can talk
you can
about
tell
it.
us. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Where do we want to start?
well, we're located in the Inside Scoop studio right here on Main Street in Barrie.
Yes, we are. And I'm super happy to be here. Super thankful for all of our followers, sponsors, all of that. We're lucky. We've already got some, faithfuls that have tuned in. We've got Glenn Brummer first out of the gate,
Awesome.
of course.
Glenn, welcome.
I know I've missed him. I've talked to him through Messenger a few times, but and I say I haven't seen him in a bit, but I only ever see him on here. Yeah, someday I'm gonna have to bring over a coffee and sit on the front porch and
I think that's a pretty good idea, and we can stream live.
yeah, and chat with Glenn. Why not,
Absolutely.
right? So, but
And
welcome
good evening,
everybody.
Joe.
Yes,
Joe is
Joe Edson.
Him and my mom apparently chat all the time on Wednesday nights at the
Oh,
VFW.
well, yeah, I was going to say that Joe is a Wing Wednesday, a wing-a-ding guy. He loves to go up to the VFW, especially on Wing Wednesday. Yeah, so good to see everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We got to give a big thanks also to our sponsors, right?
Hey, Becky.
We'll let everybody know. Hey, Becky, Yipes, Barry Bevan and Sons. We thank them greatly. They are the ones that crafted the 802 Scoop logo. They are Val actually crafted that logo and dealt with my pickiness and the back and forth emails and all of that stuff. So a big thank you to them, and I can't wait to roll that out. Tasty Bites, home cooked meals right down the road. We have a hot buffet every day for lunch. You can get breakfast all day long. I've heard that the breakfast is incredible. I've only eaten for lunch so far, and I've loved it.
Well, I can tell you that I have had a Reuben down there, and
Me
it was
too.
pretty scrumdiddlyumptious. And I've had the breakfast.
Yeah.
No, actually, I have not had breakfast.
Now, I had a Reuben too. The last time, and the time before that, I did the buffet, which had stuffed pork chops and a tater tot casserole and all kinds of really great stuff. And I ate too much. Yeah. So we love them as well. And we love having a home cooked family diner back in the city because people have been looking for that for a long time. And then right out back, we have Jerry Sports Tavern. Love them as well. They have, it's a great place to just go in, get a drink, get a snack, relax, play a game of pool. You played a few rounds or one round of pool.
I did with Cyrus.
With Cyrus not too long ago. And just a great place to be, and we thank them dearly. And then the Reynolds House Inn, who every Monday evening, as we know, does trivia night, 7 o'clock. And I've heard it's a great time over there for trivia night.
I have not participated.
Me either, because I would suck at it.
Oh, well, I don't know. So I'm not going to lie to you. I can't participate anyway because I helped draft some of the questions, and that would kind of be cheating. And now that I think about it, because Tim had actually called me and said, "Hey, do you want to go on Monday night?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I can't go." And then now that I'm thinking about it, it would have been really inappropriate if I went and
Well,
I mean,
maybe you'll just
not
have to
went.
not help with the
Right,
questions
right,
next time so that you can
right.
go at
Could
some
have
point.
I
But
could have gone there.
um,
I couldn't answer
I could
any of
go
the
and cheer you
questions.
guys on, but
That's true.
um,
Well, you can't cheer me on because technically, if I answered some of the questions, I would be cheating, which would be
well, if
bad.
you went next time, I'm saying.
True.
When
True.
you didn't
Whoops,
make
that
up
was
the
pretty loud.
questions. So then we have Routhier Auto and Quick Lube right up here on South Main Street, who not only sells quality used cars, they do reconditioning, maintenance, everything you can think of, inspections, oil changes, undercoating, you name it, they do it. And they have a really beautiful line of quality used vehicles that they have thoroughly gone through. And Colby is the man when it comes to reconditioning cars. Like, seriously, he can make a car look brand new no matter how bad it looks. It's amazing. He does amazing work. And then, last but not least, is the Den in Williamstown. I love the Den. They have all kinds of happenings there all week long, every week. They have a lot of stuff coming up right around the corner. And one of the things they have coming up is very near and dear to my heart, something that I've been planning now for a little bit, is the benefit for James Brown on the 28th of September. And I hope to see tons of people there. Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have. What are they having? Because they're having. There was some.
Oh, there's
some things.
Under Attack Nerf war thingy. And that's not just for kids, that's for adults too. Like, you could, here's your chance to, like, you know, target your kids or get back at them. You know, here's your chance to just like raise holy heck with them. But can you imagine, or even a kid doing that to their parents? Like, it's just a game. Yeah, let's go. Right? My kids would have loved that if I let them shoot Nerf guns at me, and I would have loved it if I could shoot back.
It's like paintball, except for you don't
But it's
get
safely,
hurt.
it's Nerf, and it's, you know, they have all the obstacles set up in the, like the beanbag type shelters, the big beanbag shelters. But there's also going to be music, Donna Thunder, Emil Goslin, line dancing, cotton candy. Gosh, I don't even know. A silent auction, raffle, beer specials, swag, and the Den is giving 25% of all proceeds from that day to the cause. So, super excited and happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to drop a link to Under Attack, but it requires me to log into my account, which, you know.
Well, we can, and it's on our page because
okay.
Under Attack actually has some other stuff coming up really soon too. One of the things they have coming up is a fundraiser for Playground 2000. So that's coming up as well. So we've been advertising that too.
What's the fundraiser for?
Playground 2000. I would have to look it all up again because it's not one of the things that I wrote down. But the link is on the page, and you can look for it along with all kinds of other links for community events. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Joe says he was at the VFW last week when I was there, and it was kind of crazy last week. I was there for a meeting. I came in, and I told you it was like walking into Cheers. Remember when the start of Cheers and Norm would walk in and everybody go, Norm? That's what it was like. Like, so many people were hollering, and I was already a couple minutes late for my meeting, so I went right out back, sat at the table, did my meeting, then came in and was trying to be able to sit and talk with everyone. But Rosemary was there too, and your mom and your family, and Uncle. Why did his name just go out my head?
Lloyd.
Uncle Lloyd. Uncle Lloyd was
He's
there.
technically not my uncle.
Yeah, but
I do call him Uncle Lloyd.
So anyway, yeah, it was nice to see everyone and visit. And I didn't get to go this Wednesday, but I will be going again really soon because it really is. It's a lot of fun, and it's great to see everyone. So I enjoy it. Yeah.
Nice.
Now, what you want to jump right into the local news?
Well,
what do you want to do?
So the purpose of the show on Thursday nights is to to give a rundown of what's happened in news, and to also let folks know what's happening on the weekends, so you can plan your schedule appropriately.
Right.
And of course, always leaving Thursday evenings at
At 7 o'clock, free.
7 o'clock. I'm thinking 8 o'clock in the
No.
future. I'm just saying.
8 o'clock is
'Cause-
Monday Night Barry Beat. 7 o'clock is this show.
It's a little tough for me, but
You'll live, I promise. Unless people
we're gonna put a pin in the
unless
7 o'clock.
unless people think that they would rather 8 o'clock, we'll leave it to the people. We'll put out a poll and ask if people would rather that we be on at 8 instead of 7. But yeah,
I'll just say for
here's
folks,
going to be our first chit show on the Thursday night wrap. That Michael, not everything is about you always. I know that's hard to believe.
But Joe, oh man, Megan says it's past her bedtime.
And
8
that's what a
o'clock.
lot of people say. Glenn, too, and other people. So we have to be accommodating once in a while.
I just want you guys to all know how much I feel supported at this moment in time.
Oh, wow, wow. Wow, wow. You can watch anytime, though. That's the good thing,
That is
Becky,
true.
is you
That
can
is
go
true.
back and watch us at any time, because once we're on here for always. So
That is very true.
you can go back, and I'm so excited to see you actually, that you're here, because I knew that you had asked. So it's good to see you. So let's jump into some local news, because that's what we're here to do. And so we know that the state and local elections are gearing up. There are forums and debates being scheduled. The absentee ballots for some, not all, are already going out. And when are the ones in the city going out? The 20th or 24th?
It's around the 24th,
Yeah.
but the absentee ballot for the school budget has already gone out.
Gone out. And
And
that
they
vote,
should already be in people's mail.
right. And if and that revote is September 17th, correct?
Correct.
And you can vote in the city at the auditorium from 7 to 7. And in the town, you can vote at the middle and elementary middle school in Barrytown. Same thing, 7 to 7 for that vote. But for all of these, you're going to start receiving some, mailers, maybe some knocks on the
Yep.
doors by politicians.
Oh, yeah.
You're definitely going to see some yard signs and all of those things. I mean, we have quite a few to get out on the lawns for you.
I know. I have about 150 that I've got to disperse. So lots.
That is lots.
And I am going to go door to door, and I'm not going to hit every house in Barry.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. I'm a rather rotund individual, so I won't be hitting every
I
house.
offered to
But-
get you a scooter, a mobility scooter.
Well, we could.
Or maybe we could just get permission for you to have your four-wheeler around or something.
So I have ridden my four-wheeler on Barry streets before.
With permission?
I called the
Or are
police
you being
department.
an outlaw?
Well, I did call the police department, and I did ask for permission because it was during the Heritage Festival from last year.
Yeah.
And I strapped on nutters
Oh. Nutters.
to the front of my four-wheeler, and I drove from my house all the way up to the Barry Auditorium. And then for the parade, I was actually me and my nephew Joshua and myself.
Cool.
Yeah.
Someday we'll tell the story of Nutters. Not tonight, but someday we'll tell the story of Nutters. Nutters has a history with Michael. Been around for a while.
He has.
He's a secret squirrel. Keeps all of Michael's secrets.
He does keep all my. That sounds really wrong. I do have a helmet as well.
For Nutters?
No, for myself. I have a helmet for my four-wheeler.
That
Because
has-
in the state of Vermont, you have to have
Right.
a helmet. And on the helmet, there's a little a sticker that says Secret Squirrel.
Some people like puppies. whatever.
You know,
Each
don't be
their
hating.
own. So,
Sharon does say, happy to see you live again.
oh, love you. It's been a crazy day. I didn't know if I was going to make it here in time, but I did. Like, came in on two wheels. Here I be. Um, Toothpicks in the eyelids and all. But, so yeah, that's what's going on with the elections, the school budget, and then a lot of discussion right now all over social media, news outlets of all kinds, and schools about the use of cell phones. And I don't know, it became a little bit tough to think about that this week because while I'm thinking I don't want them, and I've said that in the past, then we have this mass shooting again in, granted, it's not here in Vermont, it's in Georgia, but we've got a lot of shit going on around here too. And so it's frightening to think that maybe your kids could be in school and not have that access in some ways. But it's also frightening to think that each child has a different view of what's happening and a perception of what's happening. So if they're posting on Facebook, if they're calling their family, if they're telling other friends and they're talking, a lot of misinformation can come about. And then they're not paying attention to direction and safety and what they need to do. And then maybe parents are going to be flocking to the school, and chaos kind of ensues. And then, so are you impeding help in that way?
I mean,
it's a tough decision.
It is, and I'll state I'm obviously very pro getting rid of phones in school. In fact, I'm also, which folks will probably be cringing when I say this, I don't think that screen time is, well, you can cringe all you want, but the facts show that screen time it causes cognitive delays in children and adults, mind you.
That's the problem.
Well, yes, it is it is the problem with me. But so it causes that cognitive delay, and because of the problems with children using the cell phones, they're trying to claw that back. There's actually legislation that's going to be coming before the legislature next year to statewide ban cell phones from schools, which I fully support. And Andrew Perchlik is involved in that, and I'm very thankful that he's involved in that. And he's the senator from Washington County.
And while I agree, and while I have the same sort of opinion as you, I have to also have a little bit of heart for parents that have kids at school right now, where we worry about things. It's easy to say, well, we never had them when I was in school, but we also didn't deal with a lot of the crap that we deal with right now. And so it's really tough to be stern about it, but not try to keep an open mind and see if there's some sort of common ground or middle ground here. I mean, is there a place that they can be kept? Can you have them, but they're in your backpack and you do not take them out during class?
And there are programs, which are not programs, but there are for-profit entities that are doing things like Yonder. If you look up Yonder online, YONDR, they provide little pouches that are locked as you go in, and you have an unlocking station in every classroom, so that if there is something that happens, you can unlock it. I would say to you regarding cell phones and reaching people during emergencies is that if you are a parent and you call your child, it does put them at risk at that point, because the cell phone could be on, could vibrate, and it could make a noise that would alert someone to
of their location,
if they're
hiding,
so there's there's the benefit of being able to reach out, and then there's the you know, disadvantage, or not disadvantage, but the anti-benefit
Yeah.
of, or the drawback, should I say, of possibly alerting somebody
Absolutely.
to
And
this
like I
issue.
said, and
But
creating chaos
I'll say
with too
this:
many stories.
if we would focus on our community and getting back to our, you know, our social structure that we should have in our communities, we wouldn't have those problems, and we wouldn't have to be having the question about whether or not it's safe to have your cell phone in the schools.
True.
I'm just
I mean,
throwing that in there.
we have a
It's
long ways
really
to go. I
unfortunate.
mean, we have a long ways to go in that, but
Oh yeah, and I
you
don't
know,
think we can go back.
I mean, just
sadly.
in the news now, Burlington sees more violence, a homicide, a large group, because God forbid they call it a gang. It's a large group,
Yes, not a gang,
not a gang,
because we don't want to say gang.
assaulting at least two people in the last week. One of the gentlemen was he was just walking, and he was thrown to the ground and kicked repeatedly, and he was hospitalized with these injuries. And then there was more gunfire last night, and last night was in the south end of Burlington in the middle of the night. So there's still a lot going on there. And when we think about, it's only 30 miles up the road, and a lot happens, and you have to think about. The only good thing is I think that this community strongly supports our police force. I really believe that. I think that we have a really good police force. I don't think that they're well supported through the government or in the courts by any means, but I think that we have a good force, and I think that they're well supported by our community members.
And I do want to touch base on that, because one of the things that folks talk about is, the police aren't doing anything, but it's not the it's not the police fault.
'Cause they do it.
Right. They do it. And then what happens is their catch and release program that our state has, which is a product of really
Courts, legislation.
legislature,
that's the way
not,
it is.
creating laws that put people behind jail. And, we could have a conversation about, jail times and everything else, but I would contest to you, I just want to be in a safe community.
Right.
And if that requires me to put someone behind jail, I'm not opposed to that.
Well, and
let me
Governor
rephrase-
Scott, they're talking about Governor Scott is talking about bail reform and sentence restructure, and
Yeah.
and they know it's got to happen. They know that, quite frankly, around here in the city and in the town, I would love them to maybe start doing some community watch groups again. I would love
Yeah.
to see DARE come back, MAD come back,
Yep.
really start educating our kids. We are trying to teach them all of these other things that are off the wall like craziness, but we really need to get back to almost like going backwards a little bit to roots of really getting kids to understand what they would be getting into, have assemblies. Let's talk about these things. It's okay to talk about them. I think we need to be bringing more of that back.
Well, you
Definitely
mean,
more
like,
awareness.
Community and
Well,
yeah. No, I get it. I agree.
so
Want
You-
to talk about the Berry City police logs?
sure. There's I like to read these. Sometimes I go, wait, what? And this week, it wasn't quite as, there weren't any really, maybe only one. Wait, what?
I'll just say
But
that
you go ahead.
No. I'm not. I'll let you read
You
them.
pick
But
through.
no.
Or you wanna
I'll
read them?
I'll let you read. You
All
go
right.
through it. I like the kind of police logs where it talks about, there was a funny looking dog on the side of the road that barked at me.
Right.
Those are the kind of police logs that
Well,
I
and
enjoy.
that's changing as well.
yeah,
I mean, that's how
unfortunately.
the police logs used to be, and they're certainly not like that anymore. The
No.
information that is on them is quite different than what we're used to. But this is just a sampling. It's not even every call they got, because that
Oh, yeah,
probably
no.
would be frightening. And this is a sampling that is always printed weekly in the Times Argus. Eric Blaisdell does this. Two suspicious people were reported on Keith Avenue. A male with a sword.
So what is a suspicious person?
I don't know
what is a suspicious person? Because I'm not going to lie to you. When I think of a suspicious person, I think of
maybe it was after dark and they were creeping around cars or something.
That's what I think a suspicious
dressed
person
all in
looks
black
like.
with their hoodies up, with their hood up on their hoodies. I have family members, young family members that are guys that walk around with their hat on, their hoodie up, their hood up, and I will smack them in the back of the head and say, "Put your hood down, or I'm not going to the store with you because you look like a thug."
Did
I
everybody
do.
get my comment about suspicious person?
Well,
I hope. So what I did, because now I have to explain it, which means it's not as funny. But what I did was when I said, I think I know what a suspicious person looks like, and then I switched the camera to you.
oh yeah, whatever, asshole.
Hey.
A male with a sword was reported on North Main Street. That's a little odd.
That would be suspicious.
Yeah,
Although
that would be
so
suspicious.
I need to essentially mention swords on Main Street. When I did a ride along with the police department, there was a guy that came out with a machete. And Randy Tucker, he I think it was with Hool.
Did he say stay in the car, Michael?
Yes, he did. He said stay in the car, and it was so he came out and the guy was like, and it was really weird. It was between this guy with the machete and another guy that we had already seen previously, like 2 hours. So like frequent flyer. And then Randy Tucker came up and pulled up next to him. And I don't know what he said, but the guy went in the back.
Yeah, that was all done.
That was all done. Whatever Randy did, it was all done.
Well, kudos. Randy's a great guy.
Yeah, our police officers are all great.
Yeah, we are lucky to have some of them for sure. Yeah. All of them, but we're lucky that we have the force we have. On Washington Street, a bicycle was found. We've seen a lot of that lately. A person was in the roadway on Maple Avenue. Let's see, a burglary was reported on Keith Avenue. On Bromer Street, a small child was in the roadway unattended. People were rummaging through cars on Keith Avenue. A burglary was reported on Gable Place. Materials were stolen from a home being renovated on Bassett Street. There was drug activity reported on Osceola Place. I don't know where that is. Do you? I don't know where that is.
Wait a minute. I got to look at the name.
Ossola. A person was trying to get into a business shortly after midnight on Keith Avenue. On Route 62, a dead animal was in the roadway. Littering was reported on Pearl Street Extension. Property was found on Center Street. An encampment was reported on Elmore Street. Items were stolen on Church Street. An assault was reported on Merchant Street.
So do you want to know where Osceola is?
Yes, I do.
So Osceola is
not the Mexican restaurant down the road. It's a street.
It's basically the driveway, because when we pull into the laundromat down by Yipes, that's actually Osceola.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. A nuisance animal was reported on Jake Street. On North Main Street, a person was pulling on car door handles. Drug activity was reported on Hooker Avenue. Theft of electricity via extension cords was reported on Highgate Drive. Items were stolen on South Main Street. Property was found at City Hall Park. August 29th, a person was trying to mess with a sprinkler system on a building on Prospect Street. Loitering was reported in City Hall Park.
Don't even go there, because that's something that I would complain about.
Well, it's been bad lately. It is, it's always been the park has always been kept so pretty, and it always looks so nice, and the people that are sitting down there at night, I've heard that there are some residents at Washington Apartments that don't dare to go over there anymore. Sometimes there's loud music late at night. There's drugs being used. The gazebo's being vandalized. Trash is being left around, and I don't know. I think that we should do whatever we can to keep that from happening in the park. It's the center of the city. City Hall Park is a big deal. It's where we decorate in the wintertime, for the holidays or whatever we want to call it. It is the central location for all the parades where speeches are given, and I just think that it should not be allowed. We should be saying that can absolutely not happen there. None of it.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion, and I'm sure I'll get lots of hate about that as well. But it's just sad to see. August 29th, the person was trying to mess with the sprinkler system. We have that. Loitering. Property was found on Franklin Street. A suspicious suitcase was found on Jefferson Street. Maybe it was the suspicious person's
Oh, it could have been.
suitcase.
Could have been.
It
Could have been a
been
suspicious
The
person.
suspicious person's
So here's the
suspicious
question.
suitcase. Say that a few
And
times.
question for folks. And by the way, Linda, I see the Randy's awesome. She wrote Randy's awesome.
He
Yes.
is.
So here's the question for the folks that are listening. You come across a suitcase with $100,000. What do you do? This suspicious suitcase.
First of all, if I came across a suitcase, I would never touch it. I'd be worried about what the hell was in it, so I would never know there was $100,000 in it.
That's true. I probably would leave it there as well.
Yeah, I would not touch it.
I would be like, oh, it must be garbage.
Today, though, when I was driving Route 302, I saw something that I guess could be considered suspicious. So this gentleman was on the side of Route 302, and he right up by the dam, and he probably had 6 or 7 suitcases, and they were all lined up on the side of the road, and he was walking with 2 up the road. But later there were no suitcases. So obviously he came and he came up over the bank as I was getting close to him on this straightaway. So that's suspicious. Like, where did they all go? Must be he came back and took them 2 at a time. I don't know. It was yeah.
Back to the question. Don't try to dodge it, Raylene. What would you do with the
I just told you what I would do. I would never have known that there was 100,000 because I wouldn't have touched the suitcase.
If you let's just say
If it was clear.
Let's just say yeah.
Well, you have to turn
Okay,
them
if
in.
it was clear.
I found a wallet not too long ago. You have to turn it in. It's the same as with the wallet.
$100,000.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know, man.
I found found 40.
Oh, look!
Listen,
I found a suitcase of 80,000.
I found 43,000 once, and I did 3 to 10 for that. I'm all good. On South Main Street, a campfire was reported.
That was a good comment. That was funny.
Well, you asked.
Note to self: if you see a suitcase with $100,000 in it, bring it to the police department.
I told you.
Probably a suitcase with $100,000 in it probably has laced with fentanyl or something. So
it just wouldn't be right.
No.
Becky
is
likes
laughing.
that one. It's true.
And Glenn is like, yeah, turn it in. Everybody's saying turn it in.
Yeah. So, anyways, those were some of the reports. There was also a report about a person digging up flowers at Elmwood, and that turned out to be a person planting flowers that the police say looked quite beautiful, actually, when they went to to look. So, um,
I
yeah,
mean, that's not a bad thing,
it's
right?
really not a
Like,
bad. There
that's
are a lot of
people.
people looking in cars. A lot of reports of as you go on. There's not a lot, but there are several peppered in here of, people looking in cars, loitering. There was actually a campfire on Elmwood, and so there are some encampments and that were called in, and yeah. So just keep an eye, always, be vigilant, see something, say something. Yes, you know, you may end up, at least your name isn't attached to the call on the log, but because you just never know anymore.
Yeah.
There's an assault was reported on North Main Street. I know that there was a group up on South Main near Cumberland Farms just a couple of weeks ago where there were some guns involved and a group of people that were fighting near Cumberland Farms, and that wasn't a good situation. So, yeah, just be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think overall though, I think Berry City is pretty dang safe. I mean,
Yeah,
our police.
for the most part.
I mean, I know for people like me and people like you who have, I mean, much more of you because you remember back in the old days because you're much older than I am.
You're just asking for trouble tonight, aren't you?
But I
I'm going to
mean,
call Under Attack and get myself a Nerf.
but I mean, people that have lived here for decades.
Yeah.
I've lived here
Yeah.
for 40 years. I remember being the trouble
Yep.
walking the tracks at the middle of the night, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I
I
wouldn't.
never
I don't
did
think I
that.
would do that.
Yeah,
Well,
I
la-di-da.
wouldn't do that now. I mean, I used to
Yeah.
walk the bike path, and we used to walk the tracks to go home after school and
Yeah,
stuff, and
I don't.
walk down to Ward 5 school or North Barry to play dodgeball or something, and have to be on the streetlights, home when the streetlights came on, which is certainly away from home, but I wouldn't dare do that now.
Generally speaking, Joe, I wouldn't. But it's Raylene,
Yeah, and I don't care that I'm 52. I really don't.
and
It's
she's
just a
not
number.
that old compared to me. I'm 44, so
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm only
Yeah,
6 years younger.
yeah.
Or no, not 6 years. Sorry, 8 years younger.
My second husband was 16 years older than me.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
My first was only 4 years older than me, but yeah.
but so my point that I was trying to make is that we remember, things where it didn't feel as dangerous, and I think that's because one, we had that community, right? Like Vermont definitely
Yeah.
had more community than other states, I think. And so I remember those days, and I remember walking the tracks as a kid and not being afraid. Although I don't know if I would feel as comfortable now walking the tracks without
No.
a baseball bat,
Yeah.
or
Mace or something.
something.
Yeah, taser or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's me either. I would not, and it's sad to see. But like I said, I think we need to start doing neighborhood watch programs again and being more diligent about having stuff for our kids. DARE program, MAD program, different programs like that to really educate our kids and stop having a tolerance to this stuff. If you see something, don't just call the police, holler out the bedroom window and say, "Get the fuck out of my yard before I come out there and rip you apart," or whatever,
Yeah.
No tolerance until we can get the legislature to not have a tolerance either. We need to change some stuff for sure. It's got to happen. Yeah.
So you want to move on to the GMT issue?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's really as it stands right now, it's only really going to affect Chittenden County, and I shouldn't say only because I feel horrible. Chittenden County, the way they use GMT is much greater than the way we do here, in the fact that they use it for school busing and everything. That's how some kids get to school. And then medical, and of course, it's a lot bigger community up there. But it will not affect Washington County as of yet. They're saying as of, right now they're not saying that. But we know that Berry City has been affected many times by the cuts that GMT does. And so we can just hope that it doesn't happen to us this time, because it's really super hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just hope they don't mess with our. I mean, Berry City got hit with, cuts in GMT as it is, and I feel that it would be unfair for us to get hit
For
again.
any more.
Yeah.
But it is happening. It's happening right now. The cuts are $3 million in cuts. That's a lot.
So pretty
That
big
is-
penny.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
All right. Well, we might as well get right into the community events then.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's where we're at. And the Green Mountain Reggae Fest. We know that JD's been hyping that up crazy. There's a ton of people going to that. Chris Massey, we know, is going to that. All kinds of people plan to go. The last I looked, I think it said 900 and something people were interested in, like almost as many had said going. So more than likely those people had bought their tickets already. So I think it's going to be a really huge event, and that's going to be in Bradford.
And I know JD's going to be there all weekend, so make sure you go to Aired Out Facebook page so that you can check that out.
September 6th, starting at 10 a.m., and it goes all the way through to 7 p.m. on the 8th. And I mean, there's camping. You can camp there and everything. So that's all the information I have. But like you just said, you can go to Aired Out and get the rest of that information. It's posted all over, and it is the Green Mountain Reggae Festival.
I'm sure he's going to go live.
I'm sure he will.
We should go down there and go live with him.
Well, yeah, because this year he'll have service. He'll have service in Bradford. He didn't have service in Thompson last year, the first time he had ever been to one of the Rooted Entertainment events. He and Chris Massey went, and it was like way out in the hills of Thompson, and he didn't have service.
So I trail in Thompson on my four-wheeler, and I get a lot of service up there, surprisingly.
Yeah, it depends on where you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
But they did not have service. So and they had such a
he
good
probably
time.
has Verizon, and maybe Verizon doesn't like him.
Well, I think he has straight talk,
Okay,
but
never mind.
I think that maybe they were having such a good time that he just couldn't dial his phone. Yeah,
Really good time.
Yeah, I think they were having a really good time. So, and I mean, that's all we heard about for days. I mean, it was a hysterical story, but yeah. So that's happening this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. You can go to the Hopkins Hill Farm in Hardwick, pick your own sunflowers.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Montpelier River cleanup is this Saturday, starting at 8:30 a.m. And each one of these that I tell you about, all of the information is on our page. So it's right. You go to 802 Scoop, you scroll down, you find this. You can click on the event, and it gives you all of the information. So
Nice.
this is just kind of like a wrap up of what it is. There's a neighborhood yard sale on Fairview Street Saturday, and that's happening all day. Gusto's Open is this weekend at the Berry Country Club, and that's Sunday at 11 o'clock. So that is always a huge fundraiser and a huge event for them, a really huge event for them that they do every year. There is a family dance party that is going to be at the new dance studio that's down here on Main Street. And that, can you read that one? Because mine is cut off here.
Family dance tomorrow, Friday, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Yes.
at the new dance Hall and Movement Center. I'm sorry, New Dance and Movement Center located at 162 North Main Street. Do you want to tell me where that is?
Um,
Do you know?
no, I don't know. I know, well,
Let's
we're
find out where that is.
185, so it's got to be that way more,
I'm curious.
right?
162.
Um, I did not look to see where that was, though, on Main Street. I just know
so
Sidewalk
it's
Village.
down at the I think it's the Milne Building.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
In
the
the new,
Milne Building.
so the new building that they just did, or the one that they've been redoing up here.
The Milne, where Maria's Bagels.
Oh,
I'm assuming
yes.
it's probably on the second floor.
Yep.
That would be my guess.
Nice. So that is
maybe not.
happening. That sounds like fun, actually. The Williamstown Autumn Festival is Sunday, and that begins at 11 o'clock on Beckett Street. Now, all kinds of activities and great things happening down there, food and different events like that. So they'd love to see you. And then there's also the Custom Classics is going to be at Aspen Dental on Saturday, and that actually came about just before we went on live. They had posted, but it's Central Vermont Custom Classics, and that's this Saturday at Aspen Dental, and it starts at 9 and ends at noon. And so this is kind of like the classics that they do a meet up at Bond Auto or O'Reilly's, it's called now, in Southbury.
O'Reilly's.
Yes, that's
Auto
where they
Parts.
do it in Southbury. But these guys travel all over to different restaurants and meets, and sometimes they just go out for a ride and they tell everybody where they're going to end up at a restaurant or something. And but these are more like hot rods and real custom classic cars that are absolutely amazing.
Nice.
So get out, check them out, see what they have.
Do you think my Jeep
going on.
qualifies as a?
No, it
custom-
definitely, your Jeep does not qualify as any such thing as that. If anybody,
That was very depressing.
and if anybody wants to buy me a '69 Camaro so that I can go to this car show, I would just love that.
Or instead, you could buy me a 1940s Willys Jeep, which is kind of what I want.
My son has one of those at
Does he
his
really?
farm. He found it in the woods.
Well,
No,
I want one that
no,
works.
But listen, I've sent Rosemary pictures of it before.
but you haven't sent me, who owns a
it's
Jeep and who loves Jeeps.
Really insane how good a shape it is still in. And I am trying to get him to get somebody to come and salvage it. I bet you he could still sell it for quite a bit of money. And I'm very, very surprised at how the condition of it still. It's crazy. I'll have to give you the pictures.
Yeah.
But he was out. He owns the farm.
Share
And
the pictures online
I will.
on 802.
Yeah, I will. But he owns the farm, and he was soon after he bought it and took the four-wheeler out, and he was just exploring all the property, all the little nooks and crannies, and he came upon this Jeep that was buried in all kinds of just rubble. And apparently that rubble is what has protected it all these years. It wasn't a building, literally just trees and stuff, almost like it was hidden there or something. But it was really surprising what it looked like.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to share that.
I thought it was super cool. Yeah. So don't forget to check the page for all of the different events there, because there's a bunch more listed. There's bike night at the Den. There's some other pumpkin picking and all kinds of different things that are coming up. I can't even believe that we're talking about picking pumpkins and Halloween already, trunk or treats and this, that, and the other. But we
And
are.
the Berry City one is on the 26th of October, I believe.
Yeah. So, but we're just barely into September. For God's sakes, I don't want to talk about that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of that information, so what's going on this weekend as well as in the weeks to come, because a lot of stuff happens during the week as well. There's a lot of things that happen over at Turning Point Center for meetings and classes, super important. The Barry Area Senior Center is super big on Glenn in this.
So I wanted to, I was going to wait, and unfortunately you looked down. I was going to make the comment that I'm actually wearing my pumpkin spice shirt because it's pumpkin spicy-ish sounding or looking. Doesn't it look like pumpkin spice?
Oh yeah,
It's like
you
pumpkin
you
spice.
just
We
look like
had that conversation
you are a
today.
pumpkin.
I am a pumpkin.
My good God. But anyways, there's lots of stuff on there. So check it out. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. It's so good to see you all. It's been like a lot of days for me, and I'm used to sitting in the seat or AC every morning, every day. So it's been a lot of days for me. And it's like, what am I going to do? You know? So, but I mean, I've been working on getting this stuff all going, and yeah, it's good. We're good. I think we're good. And
we're planning on having Tracy come in.
Yes.
There's some, and which will be really awesome. I think
Yes.
monthly.
I would
Tracy
like
Lewis.
Tracy Lewis of the partnership. I would like her to come in monthly. I have, I need to talk to her about that. I would like to
sorry.
have but I want to team up with people like
Committing.
her. I mean, I have my emails all drafted, and I've been thinking about how I want things to look. And so, no, we can talk about it because I think it's good to maybe even get feedback from people that will be watching us, But it would be nice if
I know, but I just committed Tracy to something that
right.
We haven't even talked to her about.
She might off you, not me.
Tracy, I'm sorry.
She's used to you being
I know.
a dumbass, so she'll be fine.
She is used to me committing her to things that she's not. So
Monday nights will be Barry Beat. Tuesdays will be It's No Secret, and I have some really Don Tatro of Jenna's Promise will be coming soon, as well as Dottie Moffat and some other community members as well will be coming in soon. It is Recovery Month, and I'm going to try to talk about that as much as I can. And we all have different views. Some of us, not I, are all for the safe injection sites, and some of us are not. I want to hear both views. I want to hear all sides of the story. I'd really like to know a little bit more about how people feel about that. And then Dawn is just like it's good with Dawn. It's not good because she lost her daughter, but she and I have kind of like a really good connection. She's really good, loves Craig to death. And mom to mom, we've certainly encountered a lot of the same things. And I know you give me shit all the time for being a Billy badass and, going places that I shouldn't go to hunt him down and whatever.
That's true.
Dawn is like 5 feet tall, super tiny, way tinier than me. And she's done all of that and more. She don't mess around. You don't mess around with a mama. You just don't do that. So anyway, so she'll be coming in. That'll happen on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays is 4 Quarters with Lori Shepard, and that's at 5 o'clock. And Thursday nights, you'll be with Michael and I to do the weekly wrap-up. And we do it on Thursdays because we talk about community events, and a lot of them start on Friday, so we want to get all of that out there as well. And then on Fridays, I'm going to be partnering up with some members of the community, Capstone, a couple of other guests that I can't mention yet, but Capstone, Downstreet, people like that, Washington County Mental Health, and then some people within the community to talk and for Frugal Friday. So we're going to talk about ways to save, weatherization, couponing, canning, gardening. One of the people spins their own wool and does all kinds of foraging, and she knows how to get
Tracy?
And so she knows about
Tracy, right? Is
mushrooms
foraging?
And yeah.
Okay.
So all of those sorts of things. So I think that'll be fun too, especially when we are all trying super hard to pinch pennies, like constant. We're just trying to save our money because we have to, because it's so expensive to even breathe these days. And it may get worse if this whole clean heat thing goes through. So,
Yes.
yeah, you know. So we're going to talk about all those sorts of things. So we will have a full week. There will be somebody with you at least once a day, each weekday. And I will, we'll get used to the schedule and what time, what shows are going to be. And it'll be different people on different days, but I'll get to see everybody at least 3 days a week. So I'm excited about that. 4. So, because I'll get to see people on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it.
I think that's it as well. So I wish everybody a really good night, and thank you so much for joining us. It's good to see you. Invite your friends, share, and like and do all that stuff so that we can continue to grow. We're up I don't know why Facebook is not updating, but it's making me pissed. But we are just up over 4,600. So we're so close to 5,000. We just need a little more. Yeah.
And we want the 5,000.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want 5,000 really bad. So we're getting there, but share. Make sure that people know that we're live, and, share the ads and the information so that people know that it's out there and it's being posted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. So folks, definitely share, because we want the 5,000, and make sure that you tune in on Monday night, because
And if you haven't joined our contest yet, make sure you do. It's pinned right to the top of our page.
Why don't you tell us the contest?
And you can win $100 cash, a $40 gift certificate to Emsley's, or some really cool 802 Scoop swag. So what you do is you go to the post and you tag a bunch of your friends, or as many people as you want. You tag as many people as you want in the comment section. The person that has the most invites that actually join 802 Scoop. So if you ask 10 people to come and all 10 people join 802 Scoop, you have a really good chance of maybe winning this cash, gift card, or swag. So we've had a lot of entries, and there are a couple of people close in the running that are really neck and neck for the $100 right now.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, well, Kristen Perry's one of them.
Really?
She is a faithful watcher. Yeah.
Good.
She's one of my faithfuls. And so, yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm desperately trying to, in the time that it takes for us to wrap up, I'm trying to download a video clip so that we have something to go out on, just so that it doesn't look
it's not working?
stupid. You don't think it's worth it?
No, I said, but it's not working? Or did you manage to get it done?
Well, I did actually. Within the last 5 minutes, I was able to compile the video and upload it to Google, and then download it to the page. And I'm hopeful that I just got the actual graphic without the disclosures. That's what I'm hoping, but I'm not really positive that I made it work.
Play it anyways.
Play it anyway?
Play it anyway.
Have a great night, folks.
See you Monday.
Yep. Oh, see, I messed it up. Darn it. I messed it up. What a shame. It came up with the disclosure. And I was trying to just get the last 5 minutes of it, or 5 seconds of it. Oh, well. Can't win them all, right?
No.
Oh, look, I even messed that